Welcome to today's IMC webinar. I'm Hélène and it's a pleasure to be your host today. At IMC, the International Mentoring Center, we are dedicated to creating transformative experiences for professionals across the globe through mentoring, leadership development, and community building. We believe in the power of connection, shared wisdom, and authentic stories to drive personal and professional growth. Today, we are very pleased to welcome our speaker, Jordanovska. Viktoria is an experienced coach, mentor, and trainer with over 25 years in communication and human development. As a founder of the Vienna International Academy of NLP, she integrates neuroscience, NLP, and systemic coaching to empower individuals and leaders. She has held leadership positions in multinational companies and led international projects for organizations like the United Nations. Since 2014, she has worked globally from Austria and North Macedonia, focusing on unlocking human potential with a holistic and human-centered approach. She also has been a dedicated mentor and program coordinator at PWN Vienna for the past 6 years, supporting professionals on their own growth journeys. In today's session, What I Wish I Had Known Earlier in My Career, Viktoria will draw from her rich professional and personal experience to explore how unconscious patterns, mindset, and storytelling shape our careers and leadership presence. Before we begin, just a few quick notes. This session will last about 60 minutes. Please feel free to use the Q&A box or chat to share your questions. We'll take time at the end to answer as many as we can. The session is being recorded and you will receive the replay by email. And now, without further delay, I'm honored to hand the virtual stage over to Viktoria Jordanovska. Viktoria, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Hélène, and thank you for the invitation. And I'm happy to be here today to talk about dear subject of mine, mentoring, and how it helps, and what I wish I'd known. The subject is of today's session, what I wish I'd known earlier in my career when I was younger, when we didn't have mentors back then. This is more than 20 years ago, and how beautiful it would have been if we had mentors back then. Probably we had, but in Macedonia, where I was working, we didn't have such programs. So I don't see the participants, and I suppose this is the normal way. Okay, good, thank you. So I have prepared the presentation, but I will be sharing it and then not sharing it because I would like to see Hélène when we're having a conversation.
Yes, I will let you know.
Yes, if there are questions, comments, you will let me know. So let me, technology. Okay, are we good? No. Okay, here we are. So, okay, let's go. And can you just please confirm if all is okay? You see?
We can see your presentation perfectly.
So let me begin. Thank you for introducing me, and I'm not going to read about all this, what I am and who am I. You already said a lot about me, but what I want to say is that I'm an optimist. I am a serial entrepreneur as well. So the Vienna International Academy of NLP is my third business. So I've done different things in between since I started. People are my passion. Development is my highest value, together with connectivity. I am in love with nature. Yes, I'm almost every week at the mountains, and I am a cancer survivor, and I'll talk about this in the coming slides. So this is the first thing I want to talk about, and it's mentoring, and what mentoring is to me. So mentoring is like walking alongside someone through a dense and dark forest, and as a mentor, a mentor is carrying the lantern, and the path is basically the path of the mentee. So the pace is there, they choose the path, they walk with their own steps, and the mentor is here to lighten the way, lighten what's not visible, to help illuminate what they don't see, and maybe help the mentee see more clearly and help the mentee know that there is someone there, that they're not alone in the dark, basically. I mean, Helen, you're also a mentor for PW, and I know. So how do you see mentoring? Maybe we can have a little bit of a conversation here.
Well, for me, mentoring is about the mentee path rather than the mentor path. And it's a relationship collaboration. You need to create a relationship with your mentee. And it's not about telling your mentee what he should do, but more about asking 80% question and answering 20% of them, and trying to create a relationship with your mentee. And yes, and most of the time you learn a lot about your mentee as well as a mentor, and that's why it's so fascinating to see the relationship building up over the time.
Yeah, as you say, it's their path to choose. You don't carry them. You just walk alongside and support. Yeah, and it's a wonderful it's a way to me. I feel that I'm growing a lot as well through this support that I'm giving to mentees. Okay, so I selected, of course, there are so many learnings that I want to share, and there are so many things that I would love my younger self to know, but I had to limit myself to a few because our time is limited. Of course, I can go on and talk about it the whole day. So I hope you like these lessons that I would like to share with my younger self. And of course, I didn't have an easy path, and like none of us have. We all carry our own. I say always, we all carry our own suitcase, and each suitcase is heavy for each one of us. And even though we all have a different path, I believe we all have obstacles and challenges, also opportunities on that path. So these are my, let's say, my learnings and what I wish my younger self would know as she was walking this path, her career path. So the first one is, you don't have to know it all. Now, why I say this is because I come from Macedonia, and North Macedonia, and it is in our genes to know it all. So if you talk to my father, you would find out that he is an architect, he is a businessman, he is a carpenter, he is also a financial expert, and he knows it all. Literally, he knows everything, and he doesn't need any help. He doesn't need any support in anything. On one side, this can be seen as a desire for control, which I believe it is as well. But I was raised like this. So when I was younger, and for example, I had my one of my companies, I had an event organizing company, and we were at one point we were nine people that I was leading this company. And I really wanted to know what everybody else was doing. I didn't know delegating. So I had to be in charge and in control of everything, and I knew it all. So my advice to me, younger me, would be surround yourself with people who know better than you, of course, in some areas, because I cannot know it all. And now I do this, but back then I didn't know it. So I was heading toward burnouts and losing my mind. And mind your own business. So minding your own business is something that I learned the hard way, because my mentor and coach, Jokelen, I will mention her. She's the one that gave me this lesson, and it was not easy for me to accept it, because of course I want to put my nose in different stuff, and of course I thought I knew better, but then I learned that keep my focus on my business and let the others do their business, and trust. So trust is for me crucial for relationships, for relationship building, and for growth in healthy relationships. So this is the advice number one that I would give myself. Okay, so I don't have to know it all, and I need to find the people who know better than me in different areas of life where I'm not an expert, and allow them to do their job and I mind my own business. So Ellen, jump in as well. Anytime you want to jump in with a question or with something, with a comment. Okay, so let's go to the next one. And the next one is quite similar, and it leads from this one to this one. You don't have to do it alone. So I was, let's say, as I said, because I knew it all, and I thought I can do everything by myself. So on my way, I figured out that I need my community. I need my connections. And it was, I remember, I don't know when it was, but I remember I read an African proverb that since then has become very dear to me. And it says, if you want to go fast, go alone. And if you want to go far, go together. So I really took this as a basis for my life, I would say. Another thing that happened was, as I mentioned previously, I was diagnosed with a rare type of cancer. And this significant emotional event in my life contributed to changing my values in my life. And before this event, one of my highest values in work life was achievement. I'm still a high achiever, but now this is not as important as it used to be. So at one point, I figured out that something has changed after the cancer. So I was not motivated anymore by achieving, by accomplishing, by ticking the things in my to-do list that I have done them. And then I said, okay, something must have changed. So I did a session with my coach on my values. And if you don't know your values, I highly recommend that you find out which are your top 5 values, because this is what motivates you in life. And I usually do this with my mentees and with my coaching clients. So I figured out that achievement was not anymore my top value, but connectivity became my top value. So I started building these partnerships, these connections, and working together with people. And then suddenly I became more motivated again. So this is how I started to, of course, I still do my solo things. I also enjoy my solo time, but also I thrive in partnerships. And it's much easier when you are together with someone. The workload is shared. How you call this?
The vision.
The vision, it doesn't have to be the same, but the collective intelligence, the collective was the word that I was missing. The collective intelligence is much bigger than the individual intelligence. So much more can be accomplished, first because you're sharing tasks, but also because there is a different perspective. I'm not stuck in my own perspective and in my own subjective reality and in my own world where I don't see beyond. But then there are 3 or 4 or even more brains, let's say, or perspectives. Then we have a different view of something. I hope I'm I'm clear. So since then, I mean, I'm working with people. I love work with people. I love helping people. It's what feeds me. It's what feeds my soul. It's what gives me energy. It's what fills me up. So I'm not doing many things alone, probably except going to the woods alone. It's my favorite thing. Okay. So that was my second advice to my younger self. Okay, so Now this is the third one. I used to be the fastest runner on high heels when I was younger. I was fast. And I still can be fast when I forget or when it is needed, of course. But in Macedonia, we have a saying that, if I translate it, it's fast dog gives birth to blind puppies. Yeah. And I learned patience the hard way, I would say. It is also connected to the illness, which, of course, it's a great teacher. When you lose your health, you learn a lot of lessons. And I'm grateful today for that. I'm grateful that I'm alive, but I'm also grateful for the lessons. So when I was waiting for the results from the scans, that was the nightmare, because I had to wait for 2 or 3 days until the results come. And that's when I started practicing my patience. And I started slowing down. And I noticed that as I slowed down, I started meditation, I started noticing more. So as I was slowing down, I noticed more, I heard more, I felt more. I was able to stay more with my feelings, with my whatever was there present at the present moment. That actually gave me acceleration, because I was able to come up with new ideas. I was able to see and perceive different things, because when you are in the hamster wheel, you don't notice a lot, and you are just doing the same thing in a loop. So this is also connected with bite only as much as you can chew, and and that also means slow movement and steady movement. Because I remember, this is a story. I remember I was much younger, and I was owning the advertising, the event organizing agency. And then we were organizing a huge event which was dedicated to women. It was called the Women's Show. And the first year, it was very successful. So we made a lot of money. We were very proud of us. It was a dream that came into realization in front of us. And then the second year came, and fame hit our heads. And instead of staying with the format that worked already, we said, oh, we're going to go big now. So instead of one exhibition hall where we were, the event was held, we rented 2 exhibition halls. So we doubled the effort, we doubled the event, we doubled the customers, and then it was a nightmare. First, we couldn't manage so much. Then the whole concept was changed, and customers were expecting what they got used to the first time. So it was a big fiasco. And that was a lesson for me to bite only as much as I can chew, and to go slowly. To go slowly, because slowly means steady, and that means that you reach the destination. You know, like the story, or the story about the turtle and the rabbit. You know that story, Ellen?
I'm not sure. Can you tell us more?
Yeah, so it's like the turtle and the rabbit were about to race each other, and the rabbit was so full of confidence. Oh, come on, you turtle, you're not gonna race me. You're slow. But the turtle said, okay, let's still do it. And the rabbit, of course, very fast, speeding up, and right before he came to the finish line, he said, oh, the turtle is so slow, I can have a nap. And the rabbit fell asleep. And when he woke up, the turtle had already passed the finish line and won the race. So steady and slow, one step at a time, but surely getting towards the destination that we want. Okay, I'm minding also our time so that we have some time for questions and answers. Okay, so next learning. Keep your standards high and don't accept bullshit. And I'm allowed to say this because pressure comes from the environment. Lower your prices, to lower your quality, to accept less. to create something with lower quality so that you can just satisfy the demand or what's out there, to lower your head, keep your head down, lower your voice, don't say what you're supposed to say. And many times I've cracked under this pressure. And so in the aftermath of these experiences where I've been cracked by the pressure, I was left with of course, bitter taste in my mouth. And yes, I know we need to experience all of this. We need to learn. Wisdom comes from experience. We are not born wise. I know all of that. But I mean, I'm proud of myself as well that in many cases, I have kept my standards high. But in many cases also, I have cracked. And I have not valued myself because others didn't see the value in me. So this is why today I say, no, keep your standards high. Don't accept bullshit. Trust yourself and keep your head up as well. When you don't know, admit that you don't know. Ask for help, because many times we're also ashamed or afraid to ask for help. Ask for help, learn some more, keep those standards high. Here, what I want to add is also less is more, because we think if we have more, then we will be, I don't know, more successful, more appreciated, more valued. But this was me also in the past. I was grabbing, and sometimes because of too much, I had to lower my standards. But now what I've learned now is I'm focusing on these 3 things. I'm doing these 3 trainings. I have these 5 clients, and that's enough. But I'm doing it with the highest possible standard, so that tomorrow, when I meet someone on the street, they say, oh, I remember you with a good vibe, with a good memory of me, and they are also satisfied of what I have provided. Okay, so let's move on. Helen, do you want to add something to this?
I agree with what you are saying. It's more about quality rather than quantity, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
It can be for your professional life, but for your personal life as well, you know? And yes, it's what do you prefer? Having 2,000 friends you can't really have a proper conversation with, or maybe a few that you can really make a connection with and grow? So
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So this is all connected into this one. The deeper the fall, the greater the rising. And in NLP, and NLP stands for neuro-linguistic programming, for those of you that don't know, and I'm a neuro-linguistic programming trainer. So in NLP, we have this presupposition that, and a presupposition is a useful belief that there is no failure, but only feedback. And I learned this 15 years ago when I started learning NLP, and it was such a revelation for me to realize that, yeah, there is no failure in life, because every time I face a challenge or I don't succeed in what I wanted, then I'm learning. It's a learning curve. And life is not about, it's not at a straight line going like, from down to the top, but it's up and down, and we all know this. So whenever you feel, my little younger me, that you are down, that you have fallen, that you are down, remember this, that these too shall pass. And I've been down. I've been at really, I've hit bottom down. the bottom in my life. 6 years ago, I started my business in 2018. And then for 2 years, of course, like every business, you need to work on it. And then in the first 5 years, it's just first 3 years, it's only feeding the business and it's only investing. And then afterwards, you break even, probably if all goes well. But things happen. And then, so 6 years ago, I was broke, I was heartbroken, I was homeless, and I got the diagnosis for cancer, and COVID started. So this was like the worst period of my life. And if I need to put it in a metaphor, I would say it's, there was an earthquake and I was hit by a tsunami at the same time. So I was barely holding my head for a breath. But I'm here today and I'm talking to you. And the deeper the fall, the greater the rising. Now, what's important is in those moments to be aware, to be aware that, and to think about the future, I would say, and to know that this is not the end, because it's mental. A lot of this, of course, this is one organism, the body and mind are one, but the mind has an amazing potential, an amazing power to heal also the body. So yeah, I can talk forever about this topic.
We have a comment from Stephen, if I may say.
Yes.
Saying the deeper the fall, the greater the rising for those who choose to get up.
Yes, I agree. I agree, for those who choose to get up, exactly. And that's a very, very, very important comment, because choice is our greatest superpower as humans, the power of choice. And there is, Viktor Frankl said it, between stimulus and reaction, there is a space. And in this space is our power. And in this very space is our power to choose. So how I'm going to react to this fall is where my power lies, what I'm going to choose. So thank you, Stephen, for your comment.
And we have another comment from Tohin. She's from Lagos, Nigeria. What you just described is one of those life quake moments, a transition that you didn't ask for, that happened, but you rose from it, I guess.
Yeah. Thank you, Oluwa Toyin. Thank you. Yeah, now I see the comments as well.
We have another one from Abdeladem. When you're a winner, you come back no matter what happened the day before.
That's also true. I remember when I got sick, and I have a friend who has also been through healing from cancer, and he told me, and I always remember this sentence that she shared with me. She said her doctor said, not all the animals pass the river when they are migrating, and she was specifically talking about the gazelles in Africa. And of course, yeah, I mean, there are many people that have lost the battle, and I know a lot. I have lost friends, I have lost relatives, I have lost very close people in the cancer battle. But I still believe it's about choice, and I still believe it's about realizing how. It's not why me. The question is not why me, because why me puts you at the victim position. The question is how. How did I get here? So what brought me here? What gave me the illness? How did I contribute to it? Because of course we are responsible, we choose. And then the next one is, how can I get out of there? How can I become healthy again? So the question is always how, because how gets you in a state of curiosity. And when you are in your inner state is your greatest asset. Because if you're in a state of a victim, if you are in a state of unhelpfulness, in a state of, sorry, I'm having a meeting. Can you come back? Sorry, I'm having a meeting. Thank you. So, okay. So where was I? Someone wanted to enter the room where I am. Sorry for
yeah.
Yeah, so my point is mind your inner state, because when you are down, when you are in the fall, when you are on the ground, your state is not at the best level. And I can give you one advice, which is the easiest way to manipulate your inner state is through your breath. So just become aware of your breath and start breathing. And there are so many breathing techniques. If you just go on the internet, you'll find a million breathing techniques that will help you. So awareness of the breath, and then you manipulate your inner state immediately so that you can get out there and get a different perspective. And these too shall pass. Okay, minding the time.
We just have another comment from Tony.
Yes, please.
Saying, yes, reframing the question to make it sound like a challenge rather than that of a victim makes the difference. That is what you said. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. It's reframing. It's asking the different question. Because why, when in my trainings, when I hear someone say why, I have a bell that I ring. So I practically condition the people in my trainings to never ask why. I mean, yes, it's useful, but most of the time when we ask why, it's a judgment question. So we put ourselves at the victim side and we need to justify. And when you ask how, when, where, who, with whom, then you are getting in the state of curiosity and you are exploring. And then that means you are you're widening your map of the world. Okay. Then the next one is remind yourself often of your accomplishments, because we forget. We live in a society, as I said, the hamster wheel. So we are getting in the loop and we just accomplish, go, get there, this direction, that direction, the next promotion, the next car, the house now, and then the children's education, and the raise, the promotion, you name it. And we are social beings. Of course, we live in a social setting. And then seeing and comparing ourselves is a standard. It's normal. And comparing ourselves, it's not very, very, very good because it affects our self-confidence, but sometimes it's also needed. But in this whole process, we forget to stop and to look back and to see, what have I done? What have I accomplished? And I have this with my clients, and I notice it also with me. So I have to remind myself, and I have these monthly check-ins with myself where I go back and I say, okay, reflecting, what has happened in the past month? What have I done? Where am I? Because we tend to not to value, let's say, the small things that we achieve, but the small things lead at the end to the big accomplishment. And also what we forget is to tap ourselves on the shoulder and to say, good job, I'm proud of you. I have almost never done this in my younger age. I was constantly critical of myself, how I could do more always. This was not good enough. And really rarely I was proud of myself, and I would say, good job, Viktoria. But now I do this very often. Yes, because we forget. We are so much in the loop. We are so much in the run, so much on the way that we forget to praise ourselves. And praise doesn't always come from outside. People are also in their life, in their movie, let's say, in their story. So they don't often praise, and many people don't know how to as well. So we are still working on that as a leadership quality. So you need to do it yourself first. And then once you also start valuing yourself, and once you start praising yourself and for your accomplishments, it's much more easier to do it for others as well, because it comes natural. Okay, what's the time? 40. I think we have a few more. So I'll go fast.
Yeah.
So we have at least 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Now the next one is self-explanatory. I don't have to say more. I didn't think about passive income back then, so now I'm thinking about it. But if you are younger, think about passive income now. It's important, because then you can enjoy more at older age and reap the benefits. Okay, next one. So learn how to handle feedback. Now, feedback is useful, but it also matters from whom it comes. A feedback that comes from the parents, from the best friends, is not always very useful feedback, okay? Because work-wise now, we're talking about career feedback. Because who you need to get feedback from is your clients, is your peers at work, for example, is your colleagues, is your peers. I said, like if I'm working as a coach, maybe I can share some, in a trainer, I can share my issues. I can ask for feedback from other trainers or other coaches or other mentors, but not from my mother and my father or from my children or from my best friend, because they are not where in my world, in this world. Another thing is, know that people, when people give you feedback, they're giving you feedback from their own perspective. And in NLP, we know that we all have a different and subjective reality. None of us is objective as much as we want to do it, to be objective. And we say, oh, let me give you an objective feedback now. It's just their view. That's another thing. Feedback is useful, of course. It raises your quality. It can give you valuable information on how to improve, but be careful, as I said, who do you take it from? Virginia Satir, one of my mentors as well, says, taste everything, but choose what you swallow. And this comes very good here with feedback. Yes, I'm open to hear your opinion. I'm open to hear your feedback, but it doesn't mean that I will accept it. So be very selective with feedback. And no, it's not personal. That's another thing. Because many times someone will comment on my job and I might feel that they are attacking my personality. This is also awareness here. I've had my share with feedback in my younger age. Yeah, so this one is the one before the last one. And this is what I learned as well with the cancer. So for everything in my life, this is a new principle according to which I live. If I have to push with my hands, or if I have to pull something, whether it's relationships, whether it's a client, whether it's a job, whether it's going out to meet someone, I let go. That's as simple as that, because nothing forced is, nothing forced is good. And I used to be a forceful person in my past. So this is not working, but I can make it work. The relationship is not working. Oh, but my love will conquer it all and I will make it. I will make it all. I will climb that mountain with force. So I've suffered a lot because of this, and I'm very grateful for this lesson. And it's basically a principle that I live by every day. And the last one is are amazing, just the way you are. And you know the song, because you're amazing, just the way you are. And if you knew better, you would have done better. Forgive yourself for all the mistakes, accept yourself as you are, begin loving yourself in the size and in the shape that you are. When people believe in themselves, this is the first sign of success. So here I want to end my presentation. We have 14 minutes now for questions and answers. And I will share in the chat my, stop share. I will share in the chat my LinkedIn profile. So please connect. And thanks for listening. Now I'm here for your questions.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Viktoria, for that deeply insightful and inspiring presentation. We now have time for some questions. So please use the Q&A box or the chat, and we'll get to as many as we can. I think we already have one or two. Wow. Two from Stephen. So how do we teach the skill of sustaining an empowered inner state, especially in team environments where outside pressures are high?
Okay. So can you please repeat how do we keep the state?
How do we teach the skill? It's in the Q&A box. Maybe you can access it, of sustaining an empowered inner state.
Okay, now I see. Thank you for telling this. So pressure will always be there. And by the way, stress is what you do with pressure. So how do you, as I said, the first thing is breath, awareness. The second thing is changing your body. So during a meeting, if you are in team environments, you need to empower the team members with these skills, because these are useful skills in any environment, whether it's team environment, whether it's family environment, because of course there is pressure. A family can be seen as a team. So empower your teammates with skills that help them in different pressure situations, let's say. How would you, communication skills, I would say. We need to communicate, because in pressure, high pressure, how you call it, moments, we forget to communicate. Then we go immediately into the coping ways, how we are coping. So one will start blaming the others, the other will go into a placating state. Oh, it's not my fault. Another one will freeze, will become a computer, will stop communicating. And that's when the team dynamics change, because pressure is when pressure comes from the outside and we are not coping with it well, then it affects us. So I would say, teach the people about maintaining inner state. Teach them breath work. Teach them movement. Teach them communication skills. Teach them ways of how they can handle conflict. This is expanding the map, the brain, I would say. Stephen, I hope I answered your question.
Yes, he asked another one. Viktoria, if you were to distill the heart of your message at IMC into one of core belief around human potential, what would it be?
Wonderful, wonderful question. Let me read it once again. Thank you, Stephen, for this question. We all have everything that we need, all of our resources we have inside of us. That's how big our potential is. And we are not even aware of how big our potential is. So yeah, become aware of this. I would say that you have all the resources within you, and find ways how to tap into them so that you can use them.
Good, good. Thank you, thank you. Any other questions, guys? We still have a few minutes, so if you want to drop a question, you can do it now about anything that Victoria covered today. Okay, just checking the chat box. No questions. Don't be shy. We still have a few minutes.
Do you have a question, Ellen?
No, I'm just so inspired. But we have someone who's raising hand, so let me check that. Okay, allow to talk. I think it's Al-Chan. Okay. No.
Hi, Victoria.
Hi,
Can you
Al.
hear me?
Yes, I
Hi,
can.
yeah. Yeah, if somebody like the mentee is frustrated in their life, that they cannot do things to be seem right, you know. As the mentor, how would you persuade him, you know? Even though that he like lost his direction and do not know what to do, and maybe he wanted to do funny things to himself, you know, like maybe commit suicide and all that. So what do you do when it comes to a path that they want to end their own lives and all that? How can you help them?
Yeah. So I'm of course, as a mentor, you are allowed to give advice. So first time I tell a story about when I was down, because of course, if in life we have so many stories from being down, from being stuck, from not seeing the path in front of us, and this is and metaphors and stories always help. Now, when you say right for whom? I would ask. Because what is right for me, what is a right path for me, might not be the right path for you. So we always, or I always, explore what is the right path for my mentee. And of course, I'm here to guide, but I don't want to influence, because this is my experience. Maybe this is my limitation that I haven't seen. Maybe I was not able, for example, to succeed in some endeavor, let's say, and I cannot even see or perceive the way how to do it. But if I can stay neutral, and if I'm aware that this is my lens, okay, this is the lens through which I see the world. If I'm aware of my lens, then I can put my glasses aside and say, okay, through questions, as Ellen said at the beginning, through questions, I can ask and I can get out the right path that is for my mentee. And then, of course, I would be there to support them while they accomplish it on their way. And sometimes this might not be the right one, of course, the right path. So then we change the path, because I believe that one or two of the greatest human characteristics, one is resourcefulness, and the other one is flexibility. Because if you see that something is not working, you change what you're doing, so that you explore different paths until you find the right one.
Thank you.
Answer your question now.
Thank you. We have another question for Abdeladem. After a deep fall, when we are moving toward our greater rising, the new vision, how can we balance between slowing down and speeding up?
Thank you, Abdeladem, for your. I would say slowing down means speeding up. After a deep fall, you need to. For me now, I'm talking about me. I wanted to find the learning. So what's my learning from this fall? Because there is why I'm going to use the question why now. Why did this happen to me? Because now it's a different perspective, right? So what do I need to learn from this event? What do I need to heal? And you cannot answer these questions with rushing and with running towards something, but you really need to allow these questions to sink and to allow time. Because after a fall, you need time to recover, to heal. and you need to give yourself this time, because the world is going to be there. It's not going to escape.
We have another question from Toyin. What is one mistake you made early in your career as a mentor, and what did you learn from it?
Thank you, Toyin, for your question. I made probably many mistakes. And one that I can share is that I wanted so much to help my mentee that I started I started doing their job. So instead of the other way around, because now I'm also volunteering as a mentor coordinator, and I speak to mentees, and I always say, squeeze your mentor. As a mentee, you need to really squeeze your mentor, squeeze their knowledge, squeeze their advice, ask them questions, ask for meetings. It shouldn't be the other way around, the mentor pushing the mentee. Well, I was the mentor pushing the mentee because it felt that if my mentee doesn't succeed, it's my failure. So that was one big mistake at the beginning. And of course, it brought me frustration. And I was not happy with my mentee. I was not happy with myself because I was frustrated. We were not succeeding as a pair. So that was a big learning. So now as I said, I mind my own business. I'm there when I'm needed, but I don't put myself or push myself over the mentee. Yeah.
So you work on the relationship and on the agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, we have another question from Stephen. From a personal view, what is your favorite NLP technique and why?
Oh, that's a tough question, Stephen. Yeah, NLP is my life. I fell in love with NLP 15 years ago when I stumbled upon it, because it's very practical, because it's practical and it's sustainable. So my favorite NLP technique. One of my favorites is, I would say, the visual squash, because it integrates parts in you. It's a very, very healing technique, and it integrates the parts inside of you which are in conflict. So when you say, one part of me wants this and the other part of me wants that, and you are like tearing apart inside of you. So this is a technique to integrate these conflicting parts. And it's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing to witness how the healing process happens and how the integration happens. There is also always here a lot of crying, because of course crying is healing. So this is my favorite technique, and I said why. Thank you, Stephen, for your...
Any other question, guys? We still have a few minutes, so feel free to drop a question. And then we are going to wrap up anyway. So if you have any questions. Well, I can't see anything right now, so maybe we're going to wrap up. Before we close, I would like to highlight how powerful today's session has been in reminding us that personal stories, reflection, and intentional choices are essential tools in shaping meaningful careers. Victoria's guidance on self-trust, values, and mindset has given us not just insight, but practical tools to navigate the next steps of our professional path with courage and clarity. A big thank you once again to you, Victoria, for sharing your wisdom and authenticity with us today. It was truly enriching. And thank you to everyone who joined us. We hope you found this webinar meaningful and inspiring. As a reminder, this session was recorded and will be shared with you shortly by email. If you would like to rewatch or share, you can also check the YouTube channel. And if you would like to join us for future events or learn more about IMC, everything is on the website mentoringcenter.org. Thank you so much, Victoria, and thank you everyone, and talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.